Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim, Agon Erev Shabbos. We're continuing in Mishna Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Ayin. We're learning Siman Ayin. Sif Beis. Ketanim Peturim L'Rabbeinu Tam Kishalai Higil L'Chidach. Ketanim are exempt, according to Rabbeinu Tam, before they reach the age of chinuch. Isn't that obvious? If they didn't reach the age of chinuch, then they're not chayiv in any mitzvahs. I guess one chiddush would be, you would think that Kabbalas Malchus Shemayim is different, and they would be chayiv. So the chiddush is, according to Rabbeinu Tam, they're not chayiv. And another chiddush is that when they are higil l'chinuch, they are chayiv. But chayiv means to say Shema bizmanoi, which is a very big chiyuv. Imagine you have an 8-year-old, and he wants to sleep, and you have to wake him up early for Zman Krias Shema. According to Rabbeinu Tam, they're chayiv. Ula Rashi afilu higil l'chinuch. According to Rashi, even if they reach the age of chinuch, mibnei she'enoi matzoi etzloi b'zman Krias Shema be'erev, because they're not with you at the time of Krias Shema in the evening. V'yashen hu ba'boker, in the morning they're sleeping. So Rashi has a very big chiddush, that the mitzvah of chinuch does not demand that you train children in the Zman Krias Shema. Why? Because they're not with you. They're not up in the morning, and they're not with you in the night. So you say, so what? But don't you need to train them? Don't you need to train them? No, they never place that obligation on you. By the way, this chiddush of Rashi, l'chayra, would spell a nafkamina to many areas of halacha. For example, let's say in the summer, when Havdalah could be 9:30 p.m., and you have a 6 or 7-year-old who reached the age of chinuch, do they have to stay up for Havdalah? According to Rashi, maybe not. You're not mechuyev to train them in something that they're not with you for. And the Mechaber concludes, "V'roi linoy Rabbeinu Tam." It is fitting to accord yourself like Rabbeinu Tam. It says in Mishna Berura, Rabbeinu Tam, Aval higia l'chinuch, but if the kid did reach an age of chinuch, shu kvar shis kvar shava, 6 or 7, chayiv aviv l'chanchay. The father is obligated to train him. Uchmai b'shar kol mitzvos, v'gam sheyikrenu b'zman Krias Shema. Likewise, that he read it at the Zman Krias Shema, im ha-brachos lefanel l'achrei, with the brachos before and after. Okay. Kishaloi higia l'chinuch. When he did not reach the age of chinuch, according to Rabbeinu Tam, their pater, says the Mishna Berura, mikamak and pasuk rishon shebekrias Shema mitzvah aviv l'lamdoi mishiyadei l'daber. But the first pasuk of Krias Shema, it's a mitzvah on the father to teach him when he knows how to speak. V'lav dafka b'zman Krias Shema, and it doesn't dafka have to be at the Zman Krias Shema. The Dirshu points out another nafkamina, whether there's a mitzvah of chinuch on Kiddush Levana. That according to Rashi, no, because the kid is not with you at night. According to Rabbeinu Tam, you would have to tell a 6 or 7-year-old, come with me to Mariv, Matzah Shabbos, so I could train you in the mitzvah of Kiddush Levana. So even though the Shulchan Aruch says, Roi linhoi Rabbeinu Tam, if you think about it, we don't usually practice what Rabbeinu Tam says, because most 6 or 7-year-olds, you're not training them in mitzvahs that you do b'layla necessarily. Most fathers do not bring a 6 or 7-year-old to Mariv Matzah Shabbos to do Kiddush Levana. So therefore, even though it's right to follow Rashi, to follow Rabbeinu Tam, many are noyeg like Rashi. Fine. The Mishna Berura continues. That's the reason why they did not place on the father to train him, because the kid is not around, is not together with the father at that time. Look in the Bach who writes, the imhu ben yud beis shana, that if he's 12 years old, the kulei alma, according to everyone, hutal al aviv l'chanchay bezeh, it's placed on the father to train him. Says the Mishna Berura, "V'roi lenhoig." It is roi to be noheg, roi tzolaymar, meaning to say, "Afagav de medina mistabra karashi." Even though midin, meaning when the mechaber says it's a roi lenhoig rabbeinu tam, that means halachically it's mistabra like Rashi, that you don't have to train a kid. It's very interesting. By the way, let's say a kid is sleeping. The Rabbi Glatstein Abishol says you don't have to wake up a kid for Zman Krias Shema. Rav Yashiv says it is correct to wake him up, but if it's very difficult, you don't have to. And B'chlal, you only have to be makbid on the Zman of the Gra. Okay, Mishna Berura continues. V'roi lenhoig rotzum afagav d'minim misar karash v'chein kasav ra afal pichen nochen lenhoig karabin otan v'chimash and the Rambam ayim b'lecha Mishnah v'pnei Moshe al Yishami ach b'tfila l'kulei alma chayiv im higia l'chinach. When it comes to davening in general, you do have to train a child if he's higia l'chinach. Lav davka bizman the tfila, but tfila you are chayiv. According to Reb Chaim Kanievsky, you also have to train him to daven bizman tefillah. It's only Zman Krias Shema that it's machlokes Rashi Rabbeinu Tam, and Rashi says you don't have to train them in Zman Krias Shema. But Reb Chaim says everyone agree you would have to train bizman tefillah. Sif Gimel, Hakoines es habasula. We're learning Ksubas now. So someone who is koines habasula pater Krias Shema shloisha yamim is pater from Shema for 3 days imlo yasa masa. If he didn't yet do the maisa of breaking the basulim, neshutar tirdas mitzvah. He is preoccupied in a tird of a mitzvah. V'hani milu b'zman risham. That was only in the olden times. Aval achshav. But nowadays that nobody is mechavein properly. Aval achshav gam shabnei adam ena mechavnik right. Nowadays that even the rest of people are not mechavein properly. Gam hakonis says absula koire. Even someone who marries a basula read Shema v'ayin l'kaman Siman Tzadik Tes im shikar yikra k'Shema. We'll see later on in Siman Samach Tzadik Tes whether someone who's drunk says Shema. Says Mishna Berura habasulam neishu tarid tirda the mitzvah. He is preoccupied, a preoccupation of mitzvah. Shemachashev al esek basulam. He thinks about his responsibility to break the basulam. Masha ein kein ba'almana lo tar. By an almana, if someone marries almana, he's not preoccupied. Mikriya Shema, uber chayseha, he's part of Shema in the brachas, v'adin mitfila, chamash mavar lekaman misim kavav, shloisha yamim, 3 days, v'arba leilas, and 4 nights. Meaning, kaganim nas b'yam harvi b'tzarim, if he got married on a Wednesday afternoon, pater ad matzah Shabbos v'ad b'chlal. He's pater, if he got married on Wednesday day, so then he's pater 3 days. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or he's pater 4 nights. So that would be Thursday, Friday, or if he got married biyoyim haravi in the afternoon, he's pater ad matzah Shabbos. So the next night would be Chamishi, Shishi, Matzah Shabbos. That's 3 nights. So how do you get 4 nights? It says Mishna Berura, v'lefamim yitzur arba yomim. Sometimes you could have 3 days, 4 days. K'goyim nichnas l'chabal b'yom ravi, ad shaloi kar Krias Shema shel shachris. So if you got married in the morning before Krias Shema shel shachris, so you pater Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos. Here we're talking about where you got married after the Zman Krias Shema shel shachris. So it's 4 nights. If he got married Wednesday during the day, so that night is Wednesday night going into Thursday, Thursday night going into Friday, Friday night and Matzah Shabbos, I guess. Im lo yasa ma'isa, aval acher ma'isa, after he does break the b'sum she'eno taradod, he's not preoccupied chayiv. Then he would be chayiv again. V'chein mizah zman ve'el chayiv afim lo ba'al. Likewise, from the fourth night and on, he's chayiv in Shema even if he didn't do Bia yet. Why? Once the 3 days have passed and he didn't do the act, he gives up being able to do it and he's not preoccupied. Kairei, even someone who's kind of subsula reads, he's obligated to read. V'imber chayseh with the brachas kadin. V'gam mispalal. He also has to daven. The kivin shechayv b'krias mechav tefillah. Since he's chayv in Shema, he's chayv in tefillah. V'meinoi kairei. If he doesn't read, mechsi kiyuhara. It's like gaiva, meaning the mechaber ended off that this tour is only back in the day. But nowadays that most people don't have kavana, you have to say Shema anyway. So somebody who wants to say, no, I'm not going to say Shema because I won't be able to have proper kavana, that's gaiva. It's like showing that typically you are mechavein. Regarding tefillin, look earlier. What did we say? Legaive tefillin. We brought there in Sivkat and Chav Gimel the name of the Oilas Tamid and the Chida that a Chassan and his whole group say Shema and they put on tefillin and they're mavarich. What about Shechrus? Yikra Krias Shema Sham Nesrad B'Shechus Na'Kari U'Mispalo. There we learned in Siman Salik test that if you're just a little drunk, you say Shema and you daven. D'bizmanenu b'lav hachi inon mechavne kol kach. Because nowadays, anyway, we don't have so much kavanah. But if you drank so much, you can't speak before a king. Ein likros, you don't say Shema, ulespalel, and daven ad shiyasu yeneme'elav until you remove the effects of the wine. What about other brachas when one is a shikar? The Ramah says there, you could be mavarich, but the Mishna Berura says that according to the Grand Prima Gadim, l'chadchila, you should not make other brachas. Regarding benching, you should be careful not to be drunk. Meaning, the halacha is, you're not allowed to get drunk if you're in a meal, because the l'chadchila you're not a bench drunk. But if you're already drunk, then you could be mavarich. That's one of the reasons why a person has to, the opinion of the Ramah, just to drink a little bit more than you're used to, is a much better way to fulfill the mitzvah, because the l'chadchila you're now to drink the amount that you'll be in a matzah that you can't be medarber l'fnei melech. Okay, Rabbi say have a wonderful Shabbos. Thank you very much.
Why is it better to not say Krias Shema than to say it without kavanah? Like if we say, oh, nowadays you don't have kavanah anyway, so might as well say it. Back then, if you're not going to have kavanah, don't say it at all. Why is that better?
It's a bizayon. It's like a disgrace. You're accepting the yoke of heaven.
I'm saying Shema. I'm not going to call Shema. I'm not going to kind of mitzvah.
Better not to. Mi bikesh zois miyadchem remois chatzerai. I never asked such service. God's not interested. It's a disgrace.
And nowadays that, oh, you're not going to have kavanah anyway, so might as well say it.
Yeah, because it's not a disgrace, because it's not even within one's capacity. It's relative. It's relative to what a person's able to do. In other words, a guy who walks into a shul holding like a gigas of coffee. So do we say it's better for him not to come? Maybe. So what do you mean? Everyone does it. Not everybody. In other words, there are certain relative forms of objective modes of behavior that are. If you're not gonna do it respectfully, yeah, it's better not to. So, is it better for someone not to come to shul? Let's say he says, I'm gonna have to talk. So is it better for him not to come to shul? He says, everyone's doing it anyway. No, the Birkei Yosef, the Chida Pasan, better not to come. I don't think we would apply, well, nowadays everyone does, there's still a threshold. Anyway, have a good Shabbos, everyone. Kol Tov.
Recording stopped.
Yeah.